Hey there, and welcome to Hardspace Shipbreaker. My name is Bubbly, and as you can see, if you look up here at the top right, we are playing on the hardcore difficulty. This is actually episode number 2. I just did the first salvage with the intro earlier this morning. We're still on rank 4. We did skip the tutorial, which do get you your first 3 ranks and get you your first options on your cutting tool. We did skip that, so we're starting off on rank 4. We got most of our certification progress done for rank 4, so we're almost done to rank 5. So I'm actually going to do 2 salvages this episode. So the first salvage is just going to be completing the rest of the work order and getting the rest of the certification. Let's take a look at the equipment real quick. The cutter is fine. No upgrades we can get on it right now. We do have 264 points. So for the handheld, let's go ahead and actually no, not range. We want max tethers, and we don't have enough for that. So next is going to be O2 capacity. We don't really need the cross spectrum analyzer, and we don't really need to worry about the suit. Thrusters we don't need to worry about right now. We'll get them whenever we get them. But the cutter, the grapple, and the helmet, in my opinion, are the most important things. One, because having O2 capacity just lets you do more stuff. So let's go ahead and go to the ship catalog. We want a station hopper because we are missing out on, let's take a quick look real quick, missing out on work order objectives and furniture, and also a certain number of credits. So we should actually be able to get that with one more ship, actually, if we go all the way through. So we might only get one more in. So we will go with the station hopper here, which is the only one in here, so that's actually good.
Alright, Cutter. This here's another mackerel. Just a little history lesson for you.
It has been a minute since I've played this game, so I wasn't quite sure if my tethers would resupply, and it looks like they did. We'll actually start off with the nacelles here.
Salvage as much as you can of each ship before moving on to the next. We call it using the whole buffalo. You want to pay off that mountain of debt you're carrying on your back.
Weaver here, ramble on. Alright, we'll hop out into the cargo hatch here now. Usually whenever I'm going through these quickly, I actually do forcefully decompress the ship. However, I'm not going to do that. Alright, we got some medkits in here. Let's go ahead and decompress.
Air pressure level decreasing.
And we'll open up the airlock.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
There we go. We got 2 canisters of fuel if we need them. Got a data component here. We'll grab that. And we'll go ahead. There's actually not a lot of seats in here, so hopefully this will be enough. I think it is. So we'll just dislodge these real quick. You do want to use the cutter on the split saw mode as much as possible. It doesn't overheat it quite as quickly as the pinpoint mode does. So it will last a little bit longer. You won't have to use as many repair kits on it. So now with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and toss these down.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And it broke. Smacked me right in the face. Thank you. Let's take a quick look at our certifications. We need one more seat. We can grab that right from the pilot's area. There we go. And what's our work order? So we need to salvage an antenna, the power cell, nanocarbon, and general metal. So let's go ahead and cut these real quick. Once we get some upgrades on this, pulling these out will be a lot nicer. These class 1 reactors are really easy. Just gotta tether them down like that. There she goes.
Credit awarded.
I have noticed a few different things around the play real quick. The fuel canisters don't have fuel disconnect lines. I don't know if that's just part of the easy. Like, again, it's been a while since I've played this game, and usually I'm working on hardships the last time that I played this game. I do need to be careful out here that I don't accidentally blow up these components using the split saw. There we go. Beautiful. And let's switch this to the laser pointer. Get down real nice and low, because in the last video I accidentally blew up the... There we go. I accidentally blew up the coolant container, because I forgot that the beam on the pinpoint is actually physical and not just where you point your cursor at. So I do need to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and yank all of these into here, nice and easy like that.
Caution. Tether supplies running
Tether
low.
supplies low. We're gonna pull the coolant out first just to make sure it doesn't explode when we pull out the electrical unit, so that will go down in there.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
So there we go. We got that taken care of.
Additional goals remain.
And I believe
Salvage secured. Credits
salvage
deposited.
antenna. Yep. So we'll go ahead and get this next side here. We might as well just get that done. We got the airlock on this side. And we are playing on hardcore, so we do only have 1 life, so we do need to be mindful of that. I'm gonna use the pinpoint here to make sure that I don't split the airlock into a bunch of different pieces. Because the airlock did used to be just connected to the hull. It didn't have any cut points like it does now, which did make them extremely annoying to dislodge and get rid of. So it is nice that they've changed that to have cut points now. They come out nice and clean. I appreciate that a lot. So my Stinger is at 60% here, so I'll probably will slap on a tool repair kit after I'm done with this. Now this is an easy mackerel, so I'm not exactly in a huge rush to be getting this done in time. The 15-minute mark, it's gonna be pretty easy for the most part. However, once we start getting into the harder mackerels, where they have all of the interlocking beams and stuff like that, it does get a little bit more difficult. Grab that antenna, because I just realized I forgot to grab the other one that was on the other side, so that's a minor mistake there.
Salvage deposit accepted.
We are low on oxygen, however we will toss these in real quick. We'll go ahead and latch on here once we get in range. There we go, and pull ourselves in. It's a nice little trick to go fast, especially when you've got the level 1 thrusters that don't really go anywhere too quickly. So once again, going to yank ourselves in. We're gonna tether this down to the barge. We do have Nova fuel containers inside the ship, so we don't need to purchase any.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
So we'll go ahead and grab one of those real quick. And then we'll start clearing off the top here. So we can get both of those in one go. Nice. Let's go ahead and push those off. Make sure they're cleared out so that we can just throw them into the processor. Just like that, nice and easy. Get both of those. I don't know if I got both of those or not. If anything, I at least got this. Destroyed the reactor? How did that happen? I'm pretty sure I tossed the reactor down into the barge. Did I not? No, it's right there. What happened to it? I'm confused. Anyway.
Object not accepted. Please revisit your training.
It's only 300 kilograms of scrap. We don't need to worry about that. Go ahead and toss that in there real quick, and then we'll get the
Salvage
thruster out.
secured. Credits deposited.
Just yank that out, nice and easy, and tether you down to the barge. There you go. And now we can dislodge this. Okay, we did
Secured.
miss.
Account credit applied.
There we go. I'm gonna send you off this way. There you go. Nice and easy. It is gonna yank the body off. All this can go into the furnace. I'm not gonna worry about the door handles this time around. I'm just gonna let those get on in there.
Valuable object processed.
Whoa!
Credits awarded.
What the heck just happened? Alright, well that piece is gone. No, we've got like new ghost ships and stuff like that, but goodness, I didn't suspect the older guys to be throwing my pieces all over the place. A little bit of lag. We're okay. Work order is done.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Toss that seat in there. Now, I'm just trying to get to certification 5, so I'm not too
Salvage
worried
secured. Credits deposited.
about doing this perfect. Especially with the work order complete. I am going to throw this into the processor because there's quite a bit of nanocarbon out on the top and around the front and bottom here that I can... Pretty sure you can get it off, but it's a pain in the ass and it's not really worth trying to saw it all off, so we're just gonna...
Caution. Tether supplies are low.
Not like that. Nope. That reticle
Alright, Kirk,
locking
got
on.
5 minutes left of this ship.
Locking on random stuff kind of throws me off.
Pitter patter. We wrap.
Actually, I just noticed a little marking on the top there. It may have made it a little bit easier to be getting that stuff off to separate it, but I can probably look at that at the next ship that we do.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
But we'll go ahead and finish up this shift. About 4.5 minutes left to spare. 2.3 million credits out of that. Not bad. We did get our rank 5. Some water real quick. So we did get some new upgrades. Fantastic. We'll complete that shift. Good morning, Shipbreaker. So we did get data recovery, so we'll go ahead and recover that. And we actually got a sticker of some sort. Yeah, we don't really need to listen to that. Alright, certification 5. So this one's pretty easy. We just need to get 13.5 million credits worth of salvaging done, 2 class 1 thrusters, 2 class 1 reactors, and 12 work order objectives. So that this one actually will go by pretty quickly. We could probably do that on like 2 easy mackerels, but I do want to go on to the new ship type. Let's take a look at our equipment real quick. We will repair that and also take a look at it. We will increase the range. Is there something else that I want? Yeah, we'll just go with the range. We'll grab this next. We don't really need it quite yet. Take a look at how long we're going on here. 14 minutes. I suppose this will be a bit of a longer episode. We'll go and look at the ship catalog. We do have one of the new ghost ships here. It's a medium, it's a mackerel, light cargo. We don't need to worry about got heavy cargo, double nacelle, cargo hatch, actually triple nacelle. No, it is double nacelle. Yeah, you know, actually we'll do one of these ghost ships for this one.
Hey, Cutter. Been a while, hasn't it? Alright. Now be a little careful with this shit.
Got 3 antennae on this.
Found her floating with no one aboard.
Now I have played with the ghost ships before I started recording this series.
Just keep an eye out, alright?
So on the inside of this, there are AI modules that kind of screw around with the ship systems, the doors and the pressurization. So first things first is we're going to want to get rid of those. Let's take a look at the work order real quickly. So we've got 10 AI nodes that we need to get rid of. And it is quite dusty in here.
Now, Cutter.
So here are those AI nodes I was talking about.
Those weird nodes, Lincoln doesn't want them, and they don't seem to be responding to any method of deactivation. You got 2 ways of dealing with them. 1, you burn them up with your cutting tool on the spot, or 2, you chuck them in the furnace. There we go, Cutter. That's how it's
Let
done.
the cutter cool
Next
off real
one you
quick.
do, just rinse and repeat.
There we go.
Cutter.
Let's open this up real quick to take a peek. Got a helmet. Oh, this is interesting. What are you? Power junction box. That's a new item I have not seen yet. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and cut this bottom piece open. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and depressurize this. That would be the smart idea. So that way, if the AI decides to get a little frisky, we won't have a sudden, violent depressurization of the hull while we're inside of it. I'll throw you over on that side. This will also give us access to these right here. You've actually got a computer on you. Gimme, please. There we go. And toss you in there. You in there. And the reactor's not there. Alright. So. Where is the reactor? Interesting. Alright, well let's go ahead and find the rest of those AI nodes. Now, the last time there were a couple on the engine here. I'm not seeing any of this time. We do have 5 more in there. You can hear them screwing around with stuff. Let's go ahead and cut into this. Alright, what do we got going on here? There we are. Fuel shutoff valve. There's the reactor. There she is. Why are you a different color? That is not a very safe place for that to be. There we go. Is there any more on you? No. Okay. really put those in an inconvenient spot. Looks like all of our important components are actually in here. Be real careful that we don't set off that fuel tank. We also don't want to set these off. Now, normally in a... that's why you're a different color. I can't cut into you. Interesting. Now, normally, if I was playing on an easier difficulty, I would be cutting into these with reckless abandon and actually using the split saw mode, but considering that I've only got one life and one life only, alright, the cellar goes down in there. Alright, let's go ahead and bust these open. Make sure we get enough clearance on the coolant, we don't bust it. Alright, so now if I go tether this, it should just come right off. There we go. Nice and easy. Got the coolant down in there. Now this piece here is going to be a little bit tricky to have to deal with, especially considering that my reactor's there. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to cut that off. It actually has me scratching my head. I guess real quick, crawl back in here and take care of this other cell. Looks like the cut point's on the inside. AI is really going crazy. After we do this cell, we'll go take care of our oxygen issue here. We'll have more than enough time. That's the one thing about having the slow maximum speed on those thrusters.
Salvage secured.
Can't really get going. We might as well go ahead and fill up on tethers while I'm at it. But yeah, no, this green portion here really has me scratching my head on what to do. I think the rest of this will just come off. There you go.
Salvage secured.
No, why aren't you coming off? You should just be coming off. Are you connected? Ah, behind. There we go. Alright. Hopefully you are not in range to don't know what to do about this green piece. I'm getting awfully close to that reactor. Alright, looks like that's gonna have to be my course of action. I don't want to pull off the electronic unit because I'm afraid that it's actually in range to set off the reactor. It's the last thing that I want to do. So let's go ahead and get in here real quick.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Toss that in there. You too. I'm gonna turn off the fuel. cell. Send her down. Alright. We do got coolant in here. Another one of those green bits. The flash of another one of those AI modules.
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining.
There you
in
are.
the shift. Get in while the getting's good. We were out.
How many more of those do I got? 4? They have really stuffed them in, haven't they? I have no idea where these other 4 are at. Alright, well I've already dislodged this, so let's go ahead and go and chuck these. Should we dislodge that before we go chucking this in? There you are. I do also need to get rid of this other nacelle real quick before I do anything else. Imagine finding these AI nodes, and I'm only getting increasing difficulty. So we need to salvage the power cell, salvage computer terminals, the cargo hatch, which I guess I can go ahead and take care of right now while I'm here. You I can't blow up because you've got green bit on you. I can't cut through that. It's mildly annoying. Toss you down there. Grab you real carefully. There we go. Alright, now you can go into the processor. There we go. Okay. Oh shit, so much. I should be able to pull this out, I think. A little bit of finagling. Yeah, you're gonna be a little bit tricky to get out, ain't you? See if I can rotate up you against that like that. There we go. Just in time to go grab some more oxygen. Right. Relax.
Welcome to Venditron 9000. Have a nice
There we go.
Level stabilizing.
Did that piece just come off? Has that been disconnected this entire time? Interesting. Alright. I guess we do get the reactor this round. And down you go.
Coder, we're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
Yes, sir. We're almost done here. Okay, there's the reactor. I was worried there for a second. Not much else I can grab at the moment. I do need to figure out where the rest of those AI nodes are, because they're starting to get on my nerves just a tiny bit. That's right. We have a disconnect valve now that we must turn. Do that real quick since the field's disconnected. No idea where the last AIs are at. Alright, so it looks like this one's gonna be a bit of a long video, so let's go ahead and just we'll look at that stuff later. We'll go ahead and finish up this ship. Why not? Let's make her a long one. Alright, so we're gonna just zoom in here, so let's see if that's disconnected. Does not look like it. So that one's actually connected. Alright. So let's go ahead and dislodge these parts. That was a little violent. Oh, you need to stop, because I am not done with you yet. Don't go any closer to that furnace. There we go. Alright, first things first. Let us disconnect you. Hopefully we didn't bang you up too much. There we are, we're right on the barge.
Warning. Fuel levels are low. Salvage secured. Account credit 5 with the master jet.
There we are. Imagine you're probably gonna fetch a nice price. Never mind, that just blew up for apparently no reason. Note to self, be very, very quick with those or they go boom. Alright, you can go in there and you are furnace. You going over there. Quick.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
Toss the rest of you in there. So I don't need most of the rest of you. I'll actually throw you over there because that's actually a better angle.
Deposit accepted.
Alright. I am curious where the last of the AI nodes are, but I don't see them. So I've missed them somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Don't know if they're connected to something I threw down on the barge, which is the only option I can think of. Maybe they're connected to the nacelles and I didn't see them. Ah, fuel. Might as well load fuel and tethers while we're here, actually. No, we don't need tethers, we'll just need fuel.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Have a nice day.
Alright, well, we don't really have much here, so might as well just gut her out, toss her in, call it good. So we don't need the chairs, so we'll just throw those in there.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
2 computer terminals. We do need 2 more of these, so let's try and be gentle with them.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Try and be gentle. There we go. That's the last work order complete. That is not the salvage AI, and I did want to take a quick look for cut points on these real quick,
Reminder.
but I don't see any, so
Salvage quotas.
I'm going to use the last 2 tethers to yank that in there.
Tethers. Get yourself over to the kiosk to buy some more.
Thank you, Weaver. I'm very much aware. My good sir. So it would be nice if that would carry itself in there and get processed before I need to buy myself oxygen, so I get credit for all of that. But I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Oxygen reserves are critical.
Take a quick drink of water.
Supplies are available for purchase at the master jet.
Looks like it will just about. Perfect. That'll do it. Alright, so that's going to conclude the second episode of Hardspace Shipbreaker. We've already completed half of our classification 5, working up to classification 6. So there won't be much else for the rest of this video. However, if you want to stick around and look at the messages here, you can go ahead and pause this if you would like to read it now. And I'll go ahead and see what this is real quick. Looks like we already looked at that one. Looks like this one's new. So I'll go ahead and play these, so if you want to listen to them, you're welcome to. Otherwise, there's not going to be much else for this episode.
This is Pilot Olson Pair, SFC number 55-8009er. We're currently in Frontier Land, about 50,000 clicks out from the edge of Vesta Incorporated Sector 12. As per stellar regs, I'm logging this report to be dispatched when we get back into relay range. We've picked up a signal coming from farther out in the frontier. It's weird. It doesn't correspond with any standard emergency signals, but it's definitely regular and intentional. Could be an SOS. We're gonna go ahead and investigate, and we'll log another report with what we find. We'll file for the search and rescue subsidy when we're back station side, noting our course change at 2120, 29th May. Olson out.
God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." On the earth, but no rulership over the sky and that which lives beyond the sky. Past the creeping of breath. No, up here God, has granted no such dominion,